What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast and I'm finally back from holiday and I'm finally going to be able to showcase more of my own battles here on the channel in today's video. Now, just a quick note, I didn't play any GBL for the entire week that I was away, so I'm still below rank 20, meaning you might not see the highest level plays from all of my opponents, but I figured I should still make a video instead of waiting even longer to make a return here on YouTube. The team should be a pretty familiar concept for this channel. I've used Salazzle and Haxorus together many times, this time with Haxorus having access to its new Community Day charge move, Breaking Swipe. So I figured, why not run double Breaking Swipe and use Rayquaza too? With that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What's the most underrated legendary Pokemon to use for the Open Ultra League? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead Salazzle into Haxorus, so I'm going to swap into my Rayquaza here. The opponent's actually running Dragon Tail, which is not ideal. I'm one turn behind, so they do get off that Breaking Swipe before I can get mine off, and now, because of the attack drop, I'm not able to get the farm down either. I have to go for the Breaking Swipe. We take them out, but I'm down a shield, and they farm me down with a Gliscor. So I'm going to wait out my Switch Clock here before coming in with my own Haxorus, and I will be able to make it to a Breaking Swipe before they make it to a potential Earthquake, which is great, as this will debuff their attack, and the opponent does now have enough energy for the Earthquake. I'm going to shield it up, but it's just a Night Slash, which is really unfortunate. They make it to a second charge move, but this is just going to be a Night Slash. Not sure why they went for that, but now they swap into Samurott. Very interesting play here. Not sure why they're doing this, but I go for a Breaking Swipe, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and we make it to a second Breaking Swipe on the CMP tie with the Hydro Cannon. This does some decent damage, and it does debuff them for a second time, meaning these waterfalls are going to be double debuffed. They're not doing too much damage. I can overfarm by one Incinerate, throw it on the CMP tie, and this Poison Fang will be enough damage to take out the Samurott. And now, will I be able to make it to a Fire Blast in time? No, they make it to the Night Slash, and this Night Slash barely doesn't take out the Salazzle. We make it to the Fire Blast, and Fire Blast one-shots the Gliscor, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent. Into the next battle, we see an Obstagoon in the lead. We're going to swap into our Haxorus. The opponent responds with a Alola Muck, and we're running Earthquake on our Haxorus for exactly this reason. Going for it straight away. Earthquake one-shots the Alola Muck. We regain switch advantage, and the opponent comes in with a Fire Spin Charizard. Now, I tried to throw on CMP. The opponent doesn't throw straight away, so we do end up giving them a full Fire Spin through for absolutely nothing, which is unfortunate, and now they can't overfarm correctly, throw just before we make it to another Dragon Claw, and that was not ideal from me, but I was trying to be smart there, thinking my opponent maybe not the highest level battler, but maybe they do know a lot more than I'm giving them credit for. We're going to go for a Breaking Swipe, and we do debuff the Obstagoon's attack here. I can let this move go through, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap and catch the next charge move after banking a Breaking Swipe onto my Rayquaza, and that's perfectly fine. And now I should be able to Incinerate, farm them down, and come out with a Poison Fang loaded as well to throw straight away into the Charizard that comes back in, and this will pretty much take them out if they do let it go through, which they do. And now one more Incinerate should be enough damage, so I'm going to shield this up, and this will be able to take out the Charizard, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Swampert in the lead. Not a great lead. Gonna swap into my Haxorus. The opponent stays in initially before swapping into their Gliscor. Now, this isn't the best matchup, but with an energy advantage and being able to debuff their attack, it's actually not too bad for the Haxorus. Especially since they go for a Night Slash there, so that does not do an awful lot of damage. Now we get a second debuff off, and they're not going to commit to the Earthquake, so this Night Slash will not be able to take out the Haxorus, meaning we get to a third Breaking Swipe here, and that barely doesn't quite take them out there. They're able to get the farm down, but they're really only going to be able to make it to one more charge move. I come in with Rayquaza, just in case they made it to an Earthquake, but they go for a Night Slash. We take them out with the Dragon Tail, and they come in with Cobalion. I'm going to swap here, and even though that's obviously not a Stone Edge, I'm able to catch a move. I catch the Sacred Sword. They come back in with the Swampert. I'm just going to fully sacrifice the Salazzle here. Hydro Cannon takes us out, and now it's all up to the Rayquaza. Going to go for that Breaking Swipe straight away after one Dragon Tail, debuffing their attack, and now this Hydro Cannon is not going to do an awful lot of damage. I'm going to let it go through, but they will barely be able to make it to a second Hydro Cannon before I get the farm down. down, which is really painful for me. Gonna shield that up as that would basically take us out from that range. And now here, I'm just gonna call that they are going to call a bait. We go for Hurricane, but they do shield it up, and that's really unfortunate. They're now gonna be able to outpace me to another charge move, and even from this range, a Sacred Sword will easily take out the Rayquaza. So I'm just gonna let it go down here, and they do unfortunately take that game. But GG's to that opponent there. I'm not actually sure if a Hurricane would take them out from that range, as I've literally never played Rayquaza before today, but let me know in the comment section, would I have won that game if I baited with a Breaking Swipe? But into the next battle, we see a Politoed in the lead, Shadow as well. We swap into Haxorus, the opponent chips me with a Weather Ball before swapping into a Shadow Machamp, and this will just allow them to guarantee switch advantage in this matchup. So it might have not made an awful lot of sense there going for a resisted Weather Ball initially, but it actually does allow them to regain switch advantage, which is all they really need. Now unfortunately we get denied as we come in with the Salazzle. We don't get the Incinerate off, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. We're now going to wait out the switch clock here. The opponent's going to come in with the Politoed, so we swap straight away into Rayquaza, and in all honesty, I have no idea how much energy they have, so I'm going to respect the Blizzard. It's a Weather Ball bait, which is unfortunate. They now come in with a Shadow Scissor. I'm going to build to a potential Hurricane before baiting with a Breaking Swipe here, and now I'm going to be able to go for that Breaking Swipe, hopefully grabbing a shield from the opponent. And we do grab that shield, and now I'm just going to go for another Breaking Swipe, throwing on the CMP tie with the second Night Slash from this Scizor, and that doesn't quite take them out here, but I'm hoping with 2 debuffs, they're not going to be able to take me out with the Night Slash, and they don't take me out. I now swap into Salazzle, get the farm down, and they do have a charge move banked, but I win CMP with the Salazzle. Poison Fang doesn't quite take them out here, but unless they've got back-to-back moves, I can come in with my Rayquaza, go for the Dragon Tail farm down, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see a Walrein in the lead. So this is where we want to see it, of course, with our Salazzle. They could go for an Earthquake and completely one-shot me here. So I'm going to respect the damage. And the opponent does full send the Earthquake, which is massive for me, as that would be very difficult to come back from. But I full send the Fire Blast. I take out the Walrein. And let's see what the opponent wants to do now. They come in with a Giratina. I'm going to throw on CMP here with their Dragon Claw. And this Poison Fang is not going to grab a shield, but it will debuff their defense, meaning that my Dragon Tails are going to do massive damage from Rayquaza, and so the opponent has to swap out. They swap into Charizard, and unfortunately I'm not able to throw on correct timing there before they get off a Dragon Claw, so I'm going to shield that up. Now go for my own Breaking Swipe. I keep getting it mixed up as it is a new move, but I'm able to make it to a second Breaking Swipe before this opponent makes it to Dragon Claw number 2. It barely doesn't take them out there, but this will now mean that Dragon Claw doesn't take out the Rayquaza either, and the opponent doesn't commit to the farm down, which is huge for me. They go for Dragon Claw, it takes me out. Now I can come in with my Haxorus, and I should be looking fairly good from this range. I know they are going to be 5 away from the Dragon Claw, so I swap into my Salazzle, catch the move onto Salazzle. Dragon Claw takes us out. Now I'm going to go for that Breaking Swipe straight away, debuffing their attack as soon as possible. We grab the final shield from the opponent, and with that debuff, I now should be able to very comfortably live a Dragon Claw from this range, make it to a final Breaking Swipe, and from this range it will be enough damage to take out the Giratina, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see a Kanto Muck in the lead. They are running Poison Jab, of course, and the opponent's going to throw here after 6 Poison Jabs. This is just going to be a Thunder Punch, so I do let it go through. I'm going to full send the Fire Blast once again. I think it's quite a risky bait here, but the opponent does unfortunately call it. So I'm going to swap, and then I'm able to catch the Thunder Punch onto my Haxorus, which is great because it is resisted. We also bait out a Togekiss, which is really, really necessary for this team because we got 2 Dragon types that get absolutely walled by Togekiss. Now on my Salazzle, I've got barely any health remaining, but I have debuffed this Togekiss's attack, and as well Salazzle does double resist the charm damage, so even though we have barely any health remaining, I'm still going to be able to shield in this matchup and make it to a second Poison Fang to take out the Togekiss from this range, and then it just depends what they've got in the back. So Poison Fang takes out Togekiss. They come in with a Dragon Breath Giratina. That's really unfortunate. These Dragon Breaths are really chunking in this matchup. They go for a Dragon Claw. They come in with their Muck, and I should have thrown straight away. I'm unfamiliar with this matchup, matchup, I'm thinking, does Breaking Swipe take them out? It barely doesn't, and if I threw straight away, we would have got the farm down and taken less damage, but now we go for that Breaking Swipe, and can we get the farm down? We're not able to do so. They farm me down and then farm down Salazzle too and take that game. So I'm wondering if I did throw that Breaking Swipe straight away into the muck, would I have been able to have enough health to take out the Giratina? I'm not really sure, but that was probably my only play there. But into the next battle, this time the opponent did not farm all the way to the Earthquake, so I can safely let the Icicle Spear go through. We once again one-shot the Wall Rain. We come in with our Haxorus, and they come in with Giratina, and once again, there's another Togekiss. I have no idea why, but I saw Togekiss in like every other battle I did with this team, which, I mean, it's a bit annoying because I'm running a double dragon backline, but also I'm running Salazzle, which is one of the best answers to any charm users in this game, so it's not the end of the world. I'm going to shield up the Ancient Power here, go for a massive overfarm, and throw basically at 100 energy. They do get the charm through, but I don't expect them to shield in this matchup, and they don't, so they come back in with the Giratina. We can now go for a Poison Fang, and this will permanently debuff their defense. We can now come in with the Rayquaza. I'm really hoping I make it to a Breaking Swipe before they make it to a second Dragon Claw in this matchup, but I'm not able to do so. But Dragon Claw does not do enough damage, and because they're running Shadow Claws, they just don't add up in time, and I'm able to Dragon Tail, farm down the Giratina, and take that game. Into the next battle, we see a Charizard in the lead, and they are running Fire Spin, so I definitely don't recommend Fire Spin, at least not nowadays anyway. Wing Attack is just so much better in terms of the energy generation. As well, they go for a Blast Burn, which is resisted, but that nearly took us out. We're going to go for a Poison Fang, grabbing a shield, and then banking some of that energy, coming in with the Rayquaza, and I'm expecting I should just be able to Dragon Tail farm them all the way down here, and I am able to do so just before they make it to another Dragon Claw. So the opponent's going to come in with a Venusaur. They now swap into a Swampert, and this is where it's really, really good having Breaking Swipe with a Dragon type. We're absolutely walling the Swampert here. Going to go for a second Breaking Swipe, and this will grab the final shield from the opponent. We can safely let this move go through. They do go for a Hydro Cannon. Honestly, I can let a second one go through as well, and then just fully farm them down. Come out with a Hurricane loaded to throw into the Venusaur. That will be coming back in, and that is going to be game over for this opponent. We have the Hurricane loaded, and from full health, Hurricane one-shots the Venusaur, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see a Lapras with the bow, or I think that's a bow. It's a pretty small screen, so I can't really see when I'm shoutcasting, but we're going to go for a Poison Fang. Poison Fang doesn't do much damage, but now I swap into my Haxorus. Initially, I was hoping I would catch a Surf, but unfortunately, the opponent does hold onto the energy before baiting with a Surf anyway, so bit unfortunate, but good play by the opponent. We go for a Breaking Swipe, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and the opponent's going to bank a ton of energy before swapping into their Swampert. Now, we barely don't make it to an Earthquake, so I settle for the Breaking Swipe. The opponent lets it go through, and they overfarm in the matchup, allowing me to make it to Breaking Swipe number 2, and they still let that go through, so I can't afford to shield this up. Hydro Cannon does actually take us out, even with the double debuff and it being resisted, but I can now come in with my Rayquaza, go for the farm down, and let's see what the opponent has in the back. They come in with a Charizard. I'm going to go for that Breaking Swipe straight away, just before they make it to a Dragon Claw, and we do massive damage, and then swap into Salazzle and catch the charge move onto my Salazzle, and the opponent comes in with their Lapras. I am going to shield this up. Very interesting play here. Go for the farm down, but they make it to another Surf in time. That's really unfortunate, or just really poor play from my end. And now can I make it with the farm down? No, I'm not able to do so. This Charizard makes it to a last second Dragon Claw. They're able to take me out there and take that game, so I definitely misplayed that game there, but GG's to that opponent. Into the next battle, great lead for us. Abomasnow is absolutely walled by the Salazzle, and they're staying in as well. Not sure why. They go for a Weather Ball, they swap into Giratina, and now I'm just going to go for that Poison Fang. Not expecting a shield, but I want to debuff their defense. Come in with my Rayquaza, and they also throw on alignment, which is huge. I get a full Dragon Tail through, and now I'm going to go for a Breaking Swipe here. Going to undercharge it in case they didn't shield, but they do shield, and I'm still able to get the farm down, which is huge. They come back in with a Bomber Snow. Going to go for that Breaking Swipe once again, and that does take out the Bomber Snow. They've got a Swampert in the back, and this is going to be game over. This is a very, very comfortable matchup now. We go for that Breaking Swipe, grabbing the final shield from the opponent. They get a massive farm down, but I'm going to come in with my Salazzle. We've got a Poison Fang loaded. It's going to be resisted, but we actually win the CMP tie and debuff their defense. They go for a Hydro Cannon. They're probably at 100 energy, and even if this is an Earthquake, because of that debuff, I will be able to live it quite easily and go for a full counter farm down, take out the Swampert, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Salazzle into Togekiss, and this is a really, really good matchup and exactly where we want to see it. The opponent swaps into a Swampert. I'm pretty slow to swap out there. Got caught in an Incinerate animation, so it took me 5 turns to swap out there, which is unfortunate, but I come in with the Rayquaza. Gonna go for that Breaking Swipe, and this will allow me to fully farm them down from this range, or at least that's what I'm hoping. They go for a Hydro Cannon here. That doesn't do an awful lot of damage. I should have thrown here, but instead, for whatever reason, I go for the farm down. I'm typically used to shielding once and then going for extra energy, but in this case, the Breaking Swipe literally does nothing to Togekiss, so I might as well have just thrown on the CMP tie there, as the energy did go to waste, so that was a pretty big waste of a shield there, but I'm now going to go for the back-to-back Poison Fangs into the Togekiss, grabbing a shield, and then taking out the Togekiss. They've got Venusaur in the back, and this is going to be a very comfortable matchup for the Salazzle. It looks like I won't even need the Haxorus in this battle, as we do grab a shield with the first Poison Fang. I'm going to be able to make it to a second Poison Fang very easily against this Venusaur, and now they're debuffed. This should easily be enough damage to take out the Venusaur, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Salazzle into Charizard. So this is a pretty difficult matchup, as they are now running Wing Attack, which is a lot better for the Charizard. We're going to go for a Poison Fang here, and the opponent looks like they CMP tied us, which is odd because they did throw after 7 Wing Attacks, so they should be able to throw 1 turn before me, but I'll definitely take that. Maybe they waited a turn, or maybe they lagged, I'm not sure. But I come in with the Rayquaza. I'm able to bait out a Floriges, which is obviously not very good for the Rayquaza, but it is good that I'm able to bait it out now before it's aligned to my dragons in the back when I've got no Salazzle left. They go for Disarming Voice. I'm barely not able to make it to a Breaking Swipe. It really doesn't matter. It wouldn't do much damage anyways, as it is double resisted, and it's not like I'd need to debuff their attack by much anyways, as all of their typical charge moves are going to be double resisted by Salazzle as well. I actually swap into Haxorus, go for the counter farm down. They come back in with the Charizard. I'm going to go for a Breaking Swipe, thinking that they are very close to a Dragon Claw, and I wouldn't be able to farm them down, and it looks like that was the case here, as they do make it to a Dragon Claw. Maybe I could have got the farm down, but they come in with a Jellicent. I've got no shields remaining. I have to get these debuffs off as soon as possible. We go for the first one there, and the opponent is going to allow me to make it to a second Breaking Swipe before they throw a Shadow Ball. I'm going to overfarm by 1 swap, and I'm able to catch onto my Salazzle, but I don't think this is going to be enough to win me the game here. I still need to make it to 2 more Breaking Swipes before they get to a charge move. That's just not going to be the case, and even though they are triple debuffed from this range, a Shadow Ball should still be enough damage to take out the Haxorus, and I do unfortunately lose that game. But GG's to that opponent there. And into the next battle, we see Salazzle into Obstagoon once again. Gonna stay in this matchup this time around. The opponent swaps into Jellicent. I'm gonna come in with my Rayquaza, and I'm gonna shield the first charge move. Hopefully they're not running Bubble Beam, and they do full send a Shadow Ball, so it's a good shield usage there. Gonna go for the Breaking Swipe, and this should allow me to live 1 Shadow Ball from this range now, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to fully Dragon Tail farm them down. Let's see, they go for that Shadow Ball. It does big damage, but I do get the farm down. I come out with a ton of loaded energy, and I will just throw the Breaking Swipe straight away into the Obstagoon that comes back in. Breaking Swipe does debuff their attack, and they also throw their energy for whatever reason. I have no idea. They obviously weren't keeping track of my energy. Now I come in with my Haxorus. They come in with a Skuntank. I'm going to go for a Poison Fang bait here, and this does grab the first shield from the opponent. I'm going to go for another Poison Fang just as they're making it to a crunch, and this Poison Fang does unfortunately go unshielded, but it looks like it's a CMP tie. They go for crunch. That doesn't quite take me out, but it allows them to get extra farm, which is not ideal for me. I'm now going to go for a breaking swipe on the CMP tie with this crunch, and this does grab a shield. I'm going to use my final shield. The opponent's very likely to swap out of this matchup back into the Obstagoon, and they make it to a charge move. Hopefully I can live this. I need to go for a full farm down to take this game. We get the farm down, and now I can go for a breaking swipe into the Skuntank that comes back in, and this will be enough to take out the Skuntank, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent, and into the final battle of this video, we see a Tapu Fini in the lead, a bit of a core breaker to the team, gonna stay in initially, go for a Poison Fang straight away, and this, hopefully they do let this go through, but they don't, they do use a shield, so I swap into my Haxorus, and this isn't the worst matchup, as we do of course resist the water gun damage. They full send the Moonblast before swapping into a Registeel. Now I'm gonna overfarm massively, go for the Earthquake, and this Earthquake does big damage, but unfortunately it's non-stab, so it doesn't quite take them out there. They go for a Zap Cannon, it is resisted, we would have lived that easily, but unfortunately we do use a shield there. They come in with a Talonflame. I'm going to go for 7 counters before throwing a breaking swipe, and then assume they're going to throw straight away, so I swap into my Salazzle, fully sacrificing it, expecting the Brave Bird. It is the Brave Bird, it one-shots me, but now I can come back in with my Haxorus, assuming they're going to swap out straight away, and they do. I can now overfarm in this matchup just a little bit, go for the Earthquake, and this Earthquake does huge damage to the Tapu Fini. One more counter takes them out. They come back in with the Talonflame. We can go for the breaking swipe here. This will lower their attack, and I should be able to make it to another breaking swipe in time up against the Talonflame, and from this range, breaking swipe barely doesn't take them out there. I'm able to snipe with the Rayquaza, and I'm able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.